Hello and welcome to the United Stand. It is your Manchester United Transfer Daily, giving you that real fan opinion on all the latest Manchester United transfer news. Couldn't get that out. That's what should be on there. Let's not go there. What I am going to go with is that I'm going to set a challenge. I am not going to mention the man who shall not be named that everybody's talking about at the moment, because we've done enough videos over the weekend. I did the video yesterday afternoon at about 1 o'clock saying that he will sign for Manchester United, and there's a video last night about the fee and everything like that, so you can go and watch it there. So if I say that name through the next 5 to 10 minutes, you've got me, but I guarantee I will not. So let's start off with David De Gea snubs Real Madrid yet again. David De Gea's contract, I'm thinking about the name now. It's like go and stand in a corner and don't think about pink penguins. I'm going to think about it. I'm trying not to say the name. So David De Gea snubs Real Madrid again. His contract runs out in 2019. We've got an option of another year on that anyway. And Mourinho has come out and said he wants him to extend further than that, which is fantastic because effectively we've got him till next summer anyway. We've got the year extension, which keeps him for another year. So we've got De Gea for 2 years anyway through, us wanting to keep him, and we want to extend beyond that. 27 years of age, it feels like he's been here for years. What a fantastic keeper. For me, the best goalkeeper in the world. And this is significant. It's not just about signing players like the man who can't be named and others. It's also about retaining the world-class players that you have, of which I feel we've got 2.5. Pogba, De Gea and Martial is halfway there. So keeping De Gea would be fantastic, and really, really positive about it. And great that Mourinho has come out and actually said that he wants to do that, because we all know that De Gea nearly went to Real Madrid a few years ago. He has the same agent as Mourinho, and that is really positive that Mourinho would come out and say that, because let's imagine that De Gea's agent was different to Mourinho's and he says we want him to stay for years. Well, his agent might go, well, that's up to us. But for Mourinho to say that when they've got the same agent, I think shows real positivity around De Gea staying, which would be great. Staying with Real Madrid, Barcelona, RB Leipzig as well, Manchester United are in for Amara Mbalo, I think his name is. I think I've got that right. Amara Mbala from Benfica. 16 years of age, predominantly plays on the right-hand side, but he's a forward, can play on the left side as well. Meant to be the next big thing. We had apparently signed a deal for him back in November. That turned out to be false. He's actually being pushed hard by RB Leipzig at the moment, and United may need to pay up to 16 million euro for this 16-year-old, but it is looking quite likely. And let's not forget that Manchester United have been signing up a lot of young youth talent recently over the last 3 to 4 years, and hopefully in the next 2 to 3 years we'll start to see some of this talent coming through, because a lot of them are like 15, 16, 17 when we signed them. Tahith Chong was one, he's 18 now, and hopefully in the next 2 to 3 years we'll start to see these players coming through. Now, the name mentioned around this was actually Javier Rabiot. I think we got him last summer from Juventus as like the head of recruitment effectively, and he did a very good job at Juventus. So hopefully we're starting to see him. It's been very quiet. We've not really heard much about him since he's come to Manchester United. I think some people even forgot we'd got him last summer, but very significant member of staff to bring to Manchester United, and hopefully that will mean that this lad comes to us, because we are acquiring some really good youth talent, and I'm quite excited about that as well. What also excites me, before I talk about Giggsy, is Marouane Fellaini is linked to David Moyes. Now, David Moyes has done a lot of bad things to Manchester United. It's unforgivable, as many would say. Came into the club after the best success we've ever had. We were league champions. He gets rid of all the backroom staff and buys Fellaini. Unforgivable. But he could go some way to rectifying that by taking Fellaini offers. And now we know Fellaini is out of contract. The rumour is that he doesn't want to sign a new contract. And I would imagine, I nearly said his name. The man who can't be named probably had it in his contract, if he is going to sign for us, that look, you've got to get rid of that player, because that's not how I play. I'm not used to long ball. So West Ham for Fellaini. PSG apparently want him as well. Look, I'm not knocking Fellaini. I think his style of football is one that suits some teams, and if we'd ever used him as what he is, which is what he was at Everton, which is effectively a number 10 who is there standing on the opposition's edge of their box, and you hit 40-yard balls to him and he controls it, and it's a very quick way to get to the opposition's box, then maybe he would have been liked a little bit more by me and more others. But playing him as a centre defensive midfielder that the keeper hits on the halfway line with long balls, never liked it. And hopefully we're going to see the end of that very soon, because we never really used him in the way he should have been used, and he needs to move on. Ryan Giggs is apparently today, and it may well have happened by now, by the time you're watching this, is going to be named as the Welsh manager. Don't worry, I'm not going to say the man who can't be named here. I'm in safe territory. But Ryan Giggs, Welsh manager. Now, I said, wow. When I saw this sort of breaking last night, I said, wow, this is, Ryan Giggs obviously has aspirations to be Manchester United manager. He thinks he should be Manchester United manager. And if he was given this job at Wales and he did quite well, then I suppose it's a step towards getting United job. I mean, would you take the Wales manager just because he qualifies Wales for the World Cup or the Euros and takes them to semi-final, the Manchester United job? I don't really think it's ever good enough on your CV to get you the United job, but at least he's going to have a job. Although, this just made me laugh. I don't agree with it, but it's at PogEskV3 on Twitter said, in response to Ryan Giggs as the new Wales manager, thank God, going to fail miserably and then finally shut up about wanting to manage United. Massive L coming for the class of '92. Well, fair to see what he thinks. It just made me laugh. It just made me laugh. But I wish Ryan Giggs all the best. I'd be intrigued to see what he does as a manager. To be honest with you, predictions. I wasn't that impressed with Giggs when he was in charge of United for those 4 games. I know they had the Fly on the Wall documentary, and it's not his fault. I think he just comes across as being a little bit reserved. And you can be a good manager like that. So let's see what happens. But I don't think even if he did well at Wales, unless he won the World Cup, and that's not going to happen, he'd be looking at the Manchester United job. But it's a good CV for him, and I think then does well with Wales, gets then takes a decent Premier League club, then maybe United. You never say never. Never say never. I just want to also add as well, because I'm getting very excited about this. I don't want to get too excited, but obviously we did do the video yesterday when I was out at a family meal, and I got on my phone and I went live for you because I had a message from somebody I trust, and they said that the man that can't be named is definitely going to sign for Manchester United. And at that point in time, apart from a few people who were basically guessing and going, I've heard he's coming, but I don't shoot the messenger. I'm not 100% sure. We pinned our flag to the mast and said he's definitely coming based on the information we got, and that information is one that I trust and I believe to be very honest. So if the man who can't be named does sign today or tomorrow, remember, we were the first to go with it. We were the first to do the video, we were the first to do the tweet. And that also means if we get it wrong, we've got to take the pelters as well. But to be honest, in relation to that, as I said last night, don't live your life not taking a risk, not doing something because it might go wrong. At the end of the day, it's been very exciting, this Alexis Sanchez... Oh, shit. It's been very exciting, this Alexis Sanchez transfer. I've done it twice now, but it has been very exciting. If we get him, it's significant. It's very, very significant, and hopefully I'll be going live later on today responding to that. If we get him, it's fantastic. If we don't get him, then we've got to be man and woman enough to stand up and take it on the chin. Because if United had never moved for him and City had gone to City like everybody expected, we would have all been bitter, but we would have gone, he's a very good player, because he is a very good player, and if he comes to Manchester United, we're getting a very good player. The biggest L will go to the club. The club went very public on this with Mourinho on Friday, and if it doesn't work out and you lose him to City, who are our rivals at the moment, then it doesn't look good, and maybe they could have handled it better, and maybe we could have kept our mouth shut about it when it, if it backfires. But I don't, I'm not going to be critical of United. I'm not going to be critical of us. I'm not going to be critical of anybody else. The reality is, all weekend, everything, everywhere has been very focused on United being interested in him, and I do think we're going to sign him. I really, really do. And if we don't, we don't. We go again. We go again, don't we? But thanks everyone for watching. I nearly got there. Please do drop a like on the video for Football Daily. Some positive news away from the man who can't be named, but I did name. We will be back for the watch along tonight at 7 o'clock. Manchester United versus Stoke. There's a match. Not even been able to do a preview because of everything that's been going on. But we will be back with a watch along tonight. Looking forward to that. We need to win. We need to win tonight, big time. And obviously, if there's any Sanchez news today, we will go live for you in relation to that. And I really, really hope there is. But thanks everybody who's been watching over the weekend and getting involved. It's been a fantastic one. Whatever happens, it has been great, and the community's been great. So thanks everyone for getting involved, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Like the video, and I'm really, really hoping that this news that we brought you earlier than anybody else is going to happen today. Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you all soon.